Hi, I'm Brad Mondo, and this is my story about how I found myself by getting lost in Tokyo. I was 21, living in New York City, doing hair. It was my dream job. This salon was the biggest one in Manhattan, and I couldn't even believe that I landed a job there. Like, okay, go me. I was there for 3 years. Everything was going amazing. I had a full clientele, but for some reason, I honestly just wasn't that happy, and I felt like something in my life was missing. I eventually made the only decision that seemed right in my head at the time. I ended up quitting. I decided it was time to truly find myself and go travel the world. I had $6,000 left in my bank account, period. And that might sound like a lot, but that's all I had for all my travel expenses and for an apartment when I got back to the city. So I decided I would allow myself to spend half in the trip and half when I came back. So I booked a flight to Thailand. I had planned to travel around for 2 weeks. Basically in Thailand, all I did was drink. They sold actual buckets of alcohol. Buckets. They're massive, like on every street corner. And I guess I had one too many drinks because right at the beginning of the trip, I got the worst sun poisoning and all my skin was peeling off. I did not look cute at all, guys, at all. So it became pretty clear right in the beginning of the trip that I was not gonna find anything besides the bottom of my alcohol bucket. Next, I went to Bali to make up for my disastrous start in Thailand. I lived that full-on yogi life. I got massages, I went surfing. It was honestly like pretty cute. Listen, I was living, but I was still searching for myself and I could not find her anywhere. She was not to be located. So my initial 2-week trip had now been extended because I was on a mission. The next place I went to was Vietnam, and spoiler alert, I didn't find myself there either. My final stop was Tokyo, and this is my final chance to find who I am, and I'm fully ready. Like, I've never in my life been more ready to just be like, Brad, hey, how are you? Like, finally found each other, hi. I had hung all of my manifestations, hopes, and dreams on this leg of the trip. And let me tell you, it wasn't exactly a smooth start. I was on the world's tiniest plane, and we had the world's most insane turbulence, and I hate flying, so this wasn't good for me at all. The flight had suddenly dropped drastically. There was plates flying everywhere, drinks flying everywhere, flight attendants falling to the ground. It was so dramatic. I thought I was gonna die. I was hyperventilating, holding my friend's hand. It wasn't good for me at all. I finally land in Tokyo. I go to grab a cab and I realize I'm completely out of cash. So I wasn't sure if I could actually use my credit card in the cab. Like, I don't know Japan, I don't know you, girl. So I ended up just walking to the hotel. The only problem was I didn't exactly know where I was or where the hotel was, and I can't read Japanese. My data plan wasn't working, so my phone was basically useless at this point. I was trying to get directions on the street, but nobody at all spoke English. I'm just wandering around Tokyo looking for my hotel for 4 hours. I just broke down. I sat on the curb and just let it all out. I was just like, why is this happening? Finally, I pulled myself together. I stood up and I realized I'm standing right in front of the hotel. I couldn't believe it. I just started jumping up and down. I'm trying to check in, but I soon realized nobody there speaks good English, so we weren't communicating very well. I finally realized that what they're trying to tell me is that they don't take credit cards. And I'm like, of course you don't. Like, why does this have to be the worst day of my life? So I decided I'm gonna have to dip into the rest of my savings if I want anywhere to sleep tonight. So instead of taking out the amount necessary to stay at this hotel, I ended up taking out the rest of my savings in yen. I was freaking out, like, how do I get this yen back in my American bank account? How does that even work? So the first thing I do is just try and fall asleep. I was just ready to knock out. But then I was like, well, you're only in Tokyo, you know, so many times in your life, I might as well go out. I end up having the absolute time of my life until about 5 in the morning. I'm finally starting to feel like this trip is starting to turn around. So the next morning, I realized that I'm being kicked out of my hotel because they're fully booked for the next night. I just decided I was gonna stay at the nicest place possible until I headed home. So I check into this incredible hotel for the next 2 nights and basically blow through the entire rest of my savings. Leaving Tokyo, I felt so discouraged. I took this huge leap of faith trying to figure out what I was supposed to do for the rest of my life. And I just felt more lost than ever. But something kind of crazy happened when I got back. During my trip, I had started making little YouTube travel videos and they didn't really go anywhere. I was like, why can't I do YouTube and hair? Why can't I take both of those passions and combine them? And all of a sudden, the epiphany I had been searching for just appeared out of midair. I posted one Hairdresser Reacts video and the rest is history. So I hope you guys enjoyed my story today. If you guys want to hear more stories like mine, you can click right over here and subscribe to MT.